I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and she's in corporate, but she's pretty far removed from technology. So she doesn't really stay up to date with everything that's been happening in the technology space. She hears about AI, but she doesn't really think it concerns her directly. And she's not really in a job where it's requiring an immediate layoff. So recently, she was scrolling through YouTube, TikTok, one of these socials, and she saw that the CEO of Verizon was talking about how it's very likely that we can be looking at, I think it was 15 to 20% or 20 to 30%. I know it's a big jump. Let's go with 20% unemployment in the next few years. And she was shocked by it because coming from such a reputable person, somebody in an esteemed position, she said, "Oh, I never heard it so candid. People are using these different euphemisms, these different ways of explaining artificial intelligence, but people aren't getting as cut and dry as what she saw." So let's give a look. Welcome back to another episode of Constant's Corner. So recently, Dan Schulman, the CEO of Verizon, was at the Bloomberg Tech Conference, and he made some comments that caught my attention, but they also caught the attention of a lot of people. Let's watch it. Let's find out.
Look at you and tailor a proposition to you.
To what extent does AI just completely replace, if they're so much better, to what extent does AI replace human customer service agents completely?
For sure, you're going to see disruption with AI in certain job functions. I don't see how that's not possible. And I don't see how anybody can look people in the eye and say that's not possible.
What percentage of customer service gets displaced?
It can be a large percentage of customer service. I think that function, is a function that has a lot of rote parts of it. I forgot my password. What's my billing amount? Those are all simple and easy things for an agent to go do. More complex things will be a combination of human and machines working together to satisfy. What that doesn't mean, you will have functions that will be disrupted for sure. And I don't see how anyone, again, could say that they won't be.
Finally, we have somebody telling the truth. So I was talking with a friend of mine recently. She's middle management. She still works in corporate. She has a pretty good job, and she's been there for about 8 to 10 years. And she has been very removed from the whole AI situation. I mean, she's heard about it in the peripheries, and she's heard people talk about it. Of course, sees it on the news, but nothing enough to take it serious. So she reaches out to me, and she sent me this. She was like, "Oh, is this what you've been talking about?" I'm like, "Yes, this is what I've been talking about." It's a serious transformation. A lot of people don't know this, but technology is the study of techniques, just like biology is the study of life, just like psychology is the study of the mind. And when we study techniques, of course, we learn them, we get better, and we get better at applying them. And techniques have to do with how we do things. So when we get better at how we do things, of course, the thing that we're doing gets easier to do, and we need less labor, we need less effort to do that specific thing. So what's the connection? Well, we've gotten really good at information technology. That's what artificial intelligence is, to the point where big companies don't necessarily need as many people doing the same tasks as they were doing before. So in the long term, this is great. We don't have to do things that we don't care about. We have more opportunities to do new things. But in the short term, what are those things that we have opportunities for? Well, I have some answers later, but in terms of sticking with the story right now, it's a big question mark. I mean, a lot of people are confused on what comes next. What do we do? So let's dig into this Verizon case and peel back a few years and see how we got here and see how this fits in the grand scheme of things. 2017, a guy named Hans Vestberg was put in the position of CEO of Verizon, and he was given the mandate We want to see profitability. The shareholders want it, and we want you to cut. So he's like, hey, we're going to do this whole rebalancing thing. We're going to take the people that we have right now, and we're going to cut where we need to make sure that we're lowering our costs and we're increasing our profitability. And that was great. I mean, he was doing it. He was going under the radar. Nothing more than what we've seen in the past in typical corporate culture. I mean, there's a lot of places that will just cut the bottom 10% of their company every year. But then you have the introduction of artificial intelligence. We have this revolutionary technology that comes out, and it lowers the requirement for having as many people as Verizon had on staff. And so what does that do? Turns the pressure up. And he's feeling the pressure from the board. He's feeling the pressure from the shareholders. Again, a lot of people don't talk about this, but the interest, a large interest of a company is to its investors, the people that have backed that company. If you loan somebody some money to go and do something, then you have a duty to fulfill the thing that you said that you were going to do. And in the world of business, it's a company of people that have gone out and said, hey, we're going to go and do something profitably, and we're going to give you a return on what you've given us. So they have this fiduciary duty to go out here and to earn a profit in accordance with what they promised the people that invested in the company. So Vestberg says, I'll match that. Let's do it. I have no problem. I'm for it. AI comes in. He feels the heat. They turn it up. Eventually, by 2025, they say, look, man, we need something a little bit more aggressive. And they install a guy by the name of Dan Schulman. Dan Schulman has said, hey, man, I'm not here for the whole rebalancing thing. I don't believe in sugarcoating my message. I'm going to give it to you straight. We're not going to, give the sweet before we give the medicine. We're just going to go straight talk. And he comes out and he's like, look, man, I think it's a problem that a lot of people in positions of power that are in positions where they're responsible for the livelihoods of other people are sugarcoating the message. And outside of this conference, he said straight up, look, I think it's going to be 15, 20% of unemployment. That's a realistic number if we're not taking it seriously and we're not reskilling people. Now, to his credit, he said that he put aside $20 million to help reskill workers. But when you look at the amount of workers there and the $20 million, it's about $1,500, $1,000 per employee. It's not as much as you would think to go and reshift your whole life. And it's not enough to just say, go and learn AI. You have to be able to learn AI to the point where you can go and earn from it and subsidize the life that you might have had before. Long term, I think we get there. But short term, I think a lot of people have question marks. Maybe you have it figured out, but I know I talk with a lot of people. I have direct clients, and people aren't feeling it the same way. So what we're looking at right now is a situation where we're seeing layoff numbers pile up. And it's not because people are just saying, forget it, we don't need these people. It's because when you are put in a situation where you have made an offer to people, if you work for us, we will give you pay, we will give you benefits, and we will give you stability. And in return, we want you to be on site or show up from 9 to 5 or however many hours. We want you to do this type of work. But then you realize that at the end of the day, we don't even really need these people to do that work anymore. Do you just start compensating that person from the goodness of your heart? Most people wouldn't if you're on the side that's giving something to somebody. But on the other side of it, of course you want that to keep happening. So my argument actually isn't about, hey, let's hide AI, because I just don't think it's going away. I worked in technology for a long time, and when you have something that's good and that works, you're going to find a way to use it. And that's just the nature of the beast. But what I am for is making sure that people that are on the receiving end of that have the tools that are necessary, have the information that's necessary and the understanding that's necessary to function in this new world, or at least until we transition into a world where some of these new AI jobs that are popping up are more commonplace and people can start to plan towards filling needs in this new world. But until then, I'm seeing a completely different type of work emerge. As traditional jobs are going down, we're seeing more jobs in more businesses, solo businesses and businesses of small teams, specifically around the creator economy or the online business economy, emerge. And what's really interesting is it is around our passions. It is around our interests. It is around the things that we are unconsciously knowledgeable about. And so what me and my team have been doing is we've been saying, hey, there's this other path that even if you're still in your position right now, working at a Verizon or any of the other companies that have laid people off, UPS, Amazon, Microsoft, Block, which are profitable, by the way, and the list goes on, then you should still be thinking, okay, well, what can I do to position myself where if I get the call or the email at 3 a.m. that says, yo, we don't need you anymore, pack up, you've lost your job, that you know you have something to lean back on. And that's why we made Constance. Constance is the #1 mini site in the world. It's AI powered because we want to put AI in the hands of the people, not just in a way where you chat, but in a way where you can make money. It's a site that sells while you sleep. And what we did is we wanted to make it really easy to set up. You just go to constance.com, you create your mini website, and we have so many tools that are really easy to get up and going. Within 30 minutes, you can get set up, and then you can make an offer to somebody online or in real life using the tools that we have there. It's that easy to set up. I would recommend that you go there ASAP because you want to make sure that you're better prepared and that you're prepared now as opposed to having to respond in the moment when you don't really have a plan in action. And after hearing this, if you still don't do it, you're going to feel really terrible if something happens and you're like, man, I don't know what to do. So I say that to say, don't just take my word for it. Try it out. Not just the tools, but go out there and look, research, look up and say, okay, what's going on in Verizon? What's going on in these layoffs? And if it's not for you, if you're fine, then you might know somebody that might need to hear this. Share it. Don't take my word for it. Take your experience for it. Try it out. This has been Constance Corner. This is Tendo, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for your time. Peace out.